Simply congrats to the Razorbacks girls basketball team. Oh man, for beating Uconn. Excellent, program that they built there at Uconn. I mean, it's a huge victory. Definitely, it brought the A game. Was it the freshman who scored 37? Oh my goodness. She put on a show. But then she went hog wild on them. 37. Whew. Man. Way to go on that. So, ever since they did the kneeling, the girls basketball team, when they did the kneeling a couple of years ago, and people thought there was going to, be some problems with that, but I really been following them quite a bit since then, and they've been doing some real good stuff. So yeah, big time girls basketball victory. I didn't see any of it really um, on the news because I just knew since they didn't have it on the local news splashed everywhere. I figured, oh, they must have lost or something because normally you would see that like huge news. So I guess I wasn't seeing it properly or something. So, oh yeah, power shaped waves, the circle and the triangle or the pyramid. Okay, you see the square there, visible, invisible. So that's why I don't mind showing body symbols that are healing. We can reach for that. If that's the most productive picture you can use for me, if everything else is not presentable, then let me present what I do have that's presentable and use that for the motivation. Okay, so but yeah, big time to the girls basketball team for pulling that off. So anybody can pull up a YouTube and video and see it. Everybody may not have another, one of those other non-public IDs. So this is for any sports people. Yeah, you just play sports and intelligently, and the divine energy that you want are going to come out of that. And also, this goes into people saying that sports just throwing a ball through the hoop, kind of childlike. It's preservation of life, actually, what that is. Imagine if someone says to you, I'm going to give you $1 million a year if you can throw this ball through this hoop more times than the other person. Someone came and told you that that's what they're willing to do, and you said, and you would sit, because most people who can't do that would sit on the sidelines and they have something more intellectual to do with their time in their lives than to sit and to do that, play games such as this, to throw a ball through a hoop, to get the trajectory of the ball going in and out of the hoop. What is it that you're doing? What is it that you're learning? What is you teaching? Okay, what other jobs in society are there? The things that people are doing. They're not allowing, the athlete is not the one that is paying them to go and play the sports and throw the ball through the hoop. It's the people with the money who's asking the athletes to do that. The athletes are just doing something that they know how to do. Repeat something over and over again and given the opportunity to carry it out, regardless of how they're being used. So what product isn't that is being used in society that is uh, carcinogenic, caustic, cancerous in its usage. Just a car. You think a car executive is so much more important than an athlete because he can crunch the numbers. But look what cars do. They pollute the planet, you know. So the person that's throwing the ball through the hoop has more input on the sustainability of life than the person who's the automobile executive who they bailed out because he was too big to fail. No, the sports is too big to fail based on what comes through that, what is the reality of that, and what you actually get with that. So, um, let me say that about that. When we look for intellect in the jobs that we do, and then the type of jobs, even when there are jobs, those jobs have uh, produced or contributed to the downfall of what society is, what we are saying about pollution right now, how bad pollution is, how the coveted, how the medical field isn't speaking for the people. And also, yeah, it's just ridiculous today. I heard that Walmart in Arkansas is going to be giving out vaccination medicine. Oh my goodness. Wow. Now that took the cake. That let me know they is really playing the game. Now that is a minimalization program that goes all the way back to the arrival of the European and the connection to other people. When they're doing things like this. It's um yeah, Walmart. And we talking about everybody. We ain't just talking about people of color, we talking about everybody. Walmart is going to have the vaccine. What is going on? In the germ-free lab, you're supposed to have those things in the hospital first, because they have the machine, the technology, the know-how, the experience, the medical people. Why are they setting it up in Walmart? They have space in the hospitals. If the hospitals are overrun, perfect. Go ahead and get the medicine and people, get them out the way, open up some beds, get some beds in there. That's what business is. That's the kind of business they're supposed to be in. You're not supposed to be having people just sitting up in there over a long period of time. That's not what a hospital is. But that's what it's been used for. Yeah, that's incredible. I'm thinking, oh, that is just, that is corruption. Now that is just corruption 101. And vaccinations are allowed with that. Um, and yet, it isn't surprising because in Arkansas, Oliver North, they was dropping off cocaine in Northwest Arkansas. Just recently, they had the underground tunnels where they were children were being trafficked. Going through Pine Bluff as well. Cherry Creek up in Arkansas, northwest Arkansas. So there are some privileges that have a putrid smell and texture. Just touch it one time, it's going to just bust open because it's just rotted all inside. Hasn't been cared for properly. So once this spills out, then the healing does take place even during that time, because the earth principle uses that decaying as it's a waiting room. It's like the earth is the waiting room for transformation. So yeah, that is incredible. I'm just really knowing what type of moves these are when they send these kind of to those places. So put your heads on that medicine, that medication. And again, on our local news, Channel 16. And again, before that, a couple of days ago, they had Channel 16 said the buses, they had this $18 million they were going to spend on the specialized lights that they have in the hospitals. Y'all see those blue lights they have in the corners of the hospitals in those rooms that's supposed to kill germs. Those are the kind of things they were talking about putting on the buses and all of that. And I'm thinking like, and so I was going to try to call Channel 16 and then go ahead and call the bus people. And I forgot that's what I can do, just call the bus people direct and see if that's what they're talking about doing, because that's the news story I heard. And without getting lost, again, congratulations to the girls' basketball team, Razorbacks up on the hill. I don't know what the local girls' basketball teams are doing. UALR, I think they're doing pretty good too. Winning games, the girls' basketball team, and all of that. And speaking of ULR, I think Derek Fisher is coaching a women's WNBA team still. I don't know if he's still doing it, but I know he was hired to do that a couple of years ago. I don't know if he's still doing it or not. But speaking of that, it was some memories thing that I had, and something he said about he teaches the girls 10 things that you don't need talent for, and that's hard work, for motivating athletic girls and stuff. He named 10 things that he would always use every day that would motivate the girls outside of talent. He would always bring. So I thought that was something good that he talked about when he was talking about the girls' basketball team, and to motivate the girls into that. So when the Razorbacks girls basketball team, I thought, wow, it's huge.